Okay. So, hi, Trikansh.
Hi,
It's
Rituji, how are you?
very well. It's absolutely brilliant, to meet you face to face online. Yeah. I mean, I think we've been engaging with ourselves from quite a bit of while. I've been a bit of fan of your photography and the kind of photographs that you do. Your coverage is simply amazing, and no doubt that you bring so much of an experience. I mean, you kind of have. I know you're into wildlife, you're into business development, and you're also a NatGeo Awardee. That's fantastic, absolutely, yeah. So to begin with, I would really like to, thank you and would request if you could introduce about yourself, give us a little more background about what you do, why you do, and how you do. Yeah. Hmm.
All right. Thank you. Thank you so much, Rituji, for having me here today. It's really honor to speak to you on few travel aspects on this call today.
Hmm.
About me, my name is Trikansh Sharma. I am a young photography enthusiast or a professional for few. I'm a nature enthusiast, definitely. Been doing this photography and I've been traveling all over few national parks in India from past 10 years approximately. And my actually journey as a wildlife photography photographer started much later, but my love for nature started earlier.
That's nice.
I've been
Okay.
exploring forest of Rishikesh from 2016, and you won't believe me that my love for photography started when I saw my first spotted deer.
Oh my
And
God.
the first
Okay.
spotted deer I actually saw in 2017. Uh,
Hmm.
so I was very fascinated by seeing a wild spotted deer in the forest while we were walking on foot in a
Okay.
village.
And how
So
old were you at that time?
I was approx 18. I was,
Oh, fantastic.
so
Okay. Yeah.
that era or that age when you finish your 12th class examination and you don't have much to do, you enjoy your break a lot.
Hmm.
That time we used to just go for morning walks, and the goal was to do morning walks. Photography was just an add-on to it. And while doing morning walks, I wasn't aware that I'll end up becoming a wildlife photographer. I'll end up getting into the wildlife tourism. The love kept on increasing for wildlife, and yeah, I mean, then no looking back after that.
I think nature has this amazing aspect that once you truly get engaged with it I mean there's I think it just goes on. There's no stopping on to it, and
Absolutely.
that's why they say nature is healing, and there is it does wonders. So I mean I myself got attracted to nature quite late in life, but I come from a travel background. But one ever since I've been into it, it just keeps growing. So I'm sure. I mean, it's a similar journey for you as well. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, sometimes I give people as a watch out alert because this hobby can be very addictive, and
Yeah.
it can be very addictive than any other hobby. So I keep telling people that if you are pursuing it, please be careful because it can be very addictive at times.
Yes, but addictive in a good sense. So that's
Yeah,
okay.
absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah, yeah. So
Absolutely.
okay, so we've got together here to talk about the content. I mean, and content is a big part of the way we do our business. Because the world we stay in, the online, I think we're consuming so much of social media all our time. I think on an average, I think each one of us spends, I think, 3 to 4 hours unintentionally, probably on social media. I mean, that's like so. I guess, and we coming from wildlife, we see that how addictive it is. We just spoken about it, and India's got so much to offer, in terms of biodiversity and everything. Do you think the tourism stakeholders, who are selling tourism as professionally, are they really doing justice to the content which is being created out there?
Well, to be honest, I feel everybody is trying their best to create content in different ways, and it has been very productive or rewarding for many people in whatever style they are creating. But I feel India is still uh, lacking the depth despite having one of the richest storytelling landscape in the world. To be
Correct.
honest, when I say stories, there are not just thousands, there are lakhs of stories to be told, but that storytelling aspect is missing, I feel. While, let's say, for example, people have been producing content on every social media platform about tiger walking towards them, or tiger doing this, tiger doing that, but how many people are telling you that this tiger belongs to the motherhood, or belongs to the hierarchy of Sita and Charger from Bandhavgarh? The entire generation of Bandhavgarh tigers these days is from Sita and Charger, both these two tigers. And if you'll talk about Ranthambore, at the Machli, the legendary Machli, everybody knows. But
Yeah.
how many people are talking about it is what missing. This is just one of the story which I keep telling people, that this is one story which is missing in the world. In the world, it's not missing, but people are not talking more about it. People are just
Yeah.
very much fascinated by showing the beauty of whatever they experience, but somehow they can tell more about it.
So yeah, I totally agree with you. I think we are stuck with what I would call like a visual cliche,
Yeah,
just what is there on the.
checklist style of
Yeah, yeah,
content
just
creation.
the good sightings. Of course, they're very fascinating and everything. But like you say, the story behind it. Even I say that the Machli story is amazing. The way she generated revenue and everything happened around it. But still, not so much is being spoken about it. I mean, okay, in her times, maybe there are movies which are made, hospitals which came out, but she's a legend. And I think the stories can just go on from one generation to another. And if we don't
Yeah.
carry it forward, then we will lose it somewhere in between.
Absolutely. And to be honest, see, wildlife tourism or wildlife content is not just about sightings. We are forgetting that the main purpose of doing wildlife tourism is somewhere or other. It's the main reason has to be supporting wildlife conservation. And
Mm.
somewhere the community, the local community around every national park is the conservation key, or is the key to conservation. While their challenges, let's say tiger is killing their cattle. Now if the for local people are not getting compensation in a right way, or in an appropriate way, or the right compensation, they end up killing a tiger by putting poison or doing other stuffs. So lot of stories which can enhance the experience of experiencing the wildlife. Not just wildlife, but things around wildlife is much more important in when we create content.
Okay, so I'm hearing you out. I mean, what you're saying is totally making sense. That there has to be wildlife, which is of course the integral part. There also has to be trees. I think we some miss out on talking about the trees and the biodiversity there. And there is the communities. So can you really suggest what could be the other strategies, which especially the wildlife lodges, especially for the wildlife lodges accommodations, which are in wildlife that they can focus on, the three to four, some core strategies that they should focus on so that they change the way they capture the content.
I've been to many lodges in India, some maybe some of the best lodges as well in India. I've experienced those, but I'll tell you what I notice, that what actual they are lacking in is what people also talk about, attention to detail. And I am a big fan of attention to detail in everything I do. So, for
Okay.
example, if you will relate to this, what I'm gonna say, you see, photographers, not just photographers like us, but people these days travel with lot of gears, let's say laptop, phone, cameras. And now mobile phones are getting banned in Indian wildlife tourism, so
Mm,
the cameras are increasing. So now you will carry action camera as well. Now you'll carry every way, you're carrying more gears. So
mm,
tell me one lodge in India which must be providing extension cable with what do you call it? You call it balancing out voltage controller, extension cable. None of the lodge does. Even if the lodge is charging 1 lakh 50,000 rupees per night, none of the
mm.
lodge is putting up this attention. detail that their customer actually need this extension cable which has voltage controller in it. So this is just one step where, if at all these, even it's just a 500 or maybe $1,000 of investment for a lodge, but travelers like us cannot carry it on every tour we are doing. So if
Okay.
at all they can make these attention to details changes in their workflow, so I feel creating content, not just creating content around them, but the service they provide to their customers will also enhance the experience. So what happens is, why I'm talking about this is, if every wildlife lodge is at a very remote locations, and
Mm.
controlling voltage of electricity is somewhere or other is not in their hand, to be honest. So because
Right.
the electricity is coming from outside, so if they will not be able to control voltage or will not be able to provide right equipments, so that their customers or the guest who is staying in a wildlife lodge or any camp will go through problems. So it happens
Mm.
once with me. My entire charging cables got a huge electric shock and nothing is working. And the tour I literally suffered with the camera battery,
Yeah.
with my mobile battery, everything.
Yeah.
And see, it's not only about me. It's also about people who are coming from abroad. I can go to Ranthambore again. I can go to Bandhavgarh again. But people who are coming from such far locations,
Mm.
that's these are the attention to details which actually change the entire experience. So
So
this is just one of them.
did you put down as a suggestion to the lodge where you were? I mean, did you put it down? I mean, did you bring it up? Because maybe it's a too technical thing which is for you to understand, and maybe, lodges who don't understand. So is there any kind of guidelines you think you can provide, a set of three, four guidelines which can be followed by the accommodations, which become they yeah, I mean, there's another aspect which you are bringing in.
Yeah,
They're experts in managing their properties, but this is and of course, a person who's coming for a photography tour, and if he doesn't have these, the whole tour is a waste.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Hmm.
Yeah, I've spoken to them many times, but what happens, no, those people are not the end decision makers in their business. So
Hmm.
that's the unfortunate case, because the management and the people who are actually working or serving the guest are two different. They are working different ways. So it takes time to adapt these things, and whenever it comes to investing money to increase the guest experience, not every lodge is the same.
Hmm.
So it's a slow process, but I feel if at all somebody will be hearing this video, they will be able to understand it very well.
So, since you are go do an attention to detail, I will really appreciate if you could give me a written document, because I really believe in documentation of just
Okay,
4 or 5 bullet points which we can circulate. Because when you hear it and while you do have an intention to do it, it just slips out of your own thing. But if it's a written document, it's like a guideline. We could circulate it along with this video, so it will come in handy. I'll really, really appreciate if you could, put down and share it with us, so that I can share it with the audience going forward.
sure, sure.
Yeah.
See, this was just related to photographers and people who are coming with a lot of gears. But I'll give you one very basic example, which can be for any guest staying in wildlife lodge or camp. So, see, these lodges are not hotels where people are coming for just enjoying their peace. Most of them are coming, 99% of them are coming to experience wildlife, to do safaris and all. And morning routines are very pumped up, so
Yes.
everybody has to rush for their safari timings and rush to the gate so
Mhm.
that everybody park their vehicle in the front. The main thing which I see is, there is a huge potential where every lodge should think about making two toilets in one room. I don't know whether it's making sense to you or not, but see,
Yes.
yeah, when two people are sharing room, it becomes challenging. You will end up getting up unnecessarily half an hour early or 45 minutes early than somebody else, so that people can use toilets one by one. While this can be a very basic one, but I feel there is a huge need, and I do seek for these things when I am looking for lodges or camps when I am traveling. So in Ranthambore, there are actually only two hotels which has two toilets in one room. And I feel they have a great advantage over others. While because the entire experience of guests becomes so soothing, they don't need to wake up few minutes unnecessarily early than anyone.
Okay. Yes, that's another perspective. I mean, good to highlight it. I mean, I have
Yeah.
never thought about it like this, but yes, what you're saying is
That's what I
making
mean
sense.
when I
Yeah,
say attention to details. Everybody
yeah.
talk about provide good food. Our staff is good. We provide this. We provide this. But then this is what attention to detail coming from somebody who has been traveling from a few
Hmm.
years in the wild. Yeah, these are the things I see that oh, this is the attention to detail which is missing in our wildlife lodges in India.
Absolutely. Good. Fantastic. Good. And so so besides that, I mean, do you think there are any other content gaps in the current what is being showcased? Is there any other point that you think can be highlighted?
Well, yes, coming back to content, now this was about this was also about content, but let's say see I follow a very lovely company based in India. It's a wildlife lodge company. See, I'll tell you, I won't take name, but I'll tell you one of the thing which they could have done where I was aware that what they are doing because I follow them, I know them. But
Mm.
so recently the Mahua season is still ongoing, and they celebrated very well by making a lot of dishes around mahua flowers. So
Mm.
but the process behind making dish, but the process or they just showed the outcomes, but they forgot showing how they collected mahua, how they decided that this is the dish they are going to make out of mahua. That's the content gap they missed out. Instead of just showing or putting up a story that oh we created a mahua dish out of the
Mm.
maua flower, so which could have been fantastic, because their goal has to be reaching to audience which or who doesn't know them well. I know them well because I've stayed in their lodges. I know
Yeah.
their most of the staff, but they, their main goal has to be not just to reaching out to me or reaching till me. They have to reach to those people who are potentially their right customers. And this is just one of the factor which where the content game has to be improved in our wildlife tourism, especially in India. India is very underestimated country in terms
Mm.
of providing right luxury to the people coming here, especially from all over the world. But we have a lot of potential. We are serving
Yeah. So
people. Yeah.
yeah, so what I hear you. I mean, so what I am really getting is that we are really focusing just on the outcome, and we are the whole line of storytelling is missing, right?
Yes.
And
Yes.
how we arrived at the storytelling and capturing that is something that needs to be up leveled as an industry. We need to up
Absolutely.
level that.
Yeah.
And first, so if we delve a little bit more into the storytelling, though you spoke about it earlier as well, so is there, so not everybody can do storytelling. That's again
Correct.
a skill, I think, which, not everybody has that, thing to face the camera and speak, or, put it in form of a thing. So how do you think one can upgrade oneself in this storytelling skill set which is there?
See, to be honest, to produce any content, we need three, four people in a team. For not in terms of person, three, four minds as a is what I mean. So, for
Hmm.
example, one, you need producer definitely, you
Yeah.
need director definitely, and you need a creator. The business owner doesn't needs to be any of them. They just need to think like a producer, where
Hmm.
the ROI in content marketing is unpredictable, is not measurable, but it's worth doing it. When I see, for example, let's say if at all they need to play around this Mahua story, they don't need to go to the village, or the business owner or the lodge owner doesn't needs to go to the village, collect mahua, and then people shooting them. That sort of story, they don't need to put efforts there. They just need to hire right people, or they just need to do the collaboration with right people who can get the work done. So it's
Hmm.
not so difficult, it's very easy to execute. Just that they need the mindset of producer, director, and a creator. When these three people combines together, I think the industry will change with a great revolution.
So are you saying that it's better if it's outsourced than doing it in-house? Is something that you're saying? Are you suggesting that?
Somewhere yes, but it depends on the skills of every lodge owner or the lodge team.
Hmm.
If at all the lodge team has ability and skills, or not just the ability and skills, interest is more important. If they have interest to create content, if they're willing to do it, then definitely ability and skills can be acquired.
Hmm.
Ability will get over time and skills will be acquired over time. Interest has to be there, but I feel,
Interest.
yeah,
Yeah.
most of the lodges operating in these locations are very remote. So interest is, I will see that it will be lacking. It's not so easy to develop interest and the skills as well. So outsource will be a quick, easy start. While the people coming from even you see Zerodha's online channel, you see Grows. These are the investing platforms. But what we should be learning from these platforms is now the business owner is not spending their time to create content, while there are influencers or just actors who doesn't even know eye of investing, but they are speaking like a, so I mean, well educated or very experienced investor, but they are putting a lot of thoughts on investing money, but they actually are
Hmm.
not investors at all. They are just creators, they are just faces while creating content for platforms like Zerodha or platforms like Grow specifically. So we should be learning from them.
Yes, absolutely. So it's the intent which is important, is what we would do.
Yeah.
And so would you say that the success of any content which is there is not just just the number of views or the number of likes, but the quality, or what are the other? How would you say that this content is really? How should we measure the success of our content, basically?
Yeah, see, 10,000 views on a reel versus gaining one customer. You need to decide what you want. I will be super satisfied when I gain one customer through my content. It's all about creating trust in the content you produce.
Mm.
At all you
Does it?
can gain confidence of somebody that yeah, we will be the right service providers through your content.
Hmm.
That's where I'll see that yeah, this will be a content marketing and content branding, because it branding is a task which happens over time, while marketing is a task which can show you results instantly. Every brand you see, I see a lot of brands hiring influencers and asking them to create content for them. What they are doing is showing their room, that how beautiful their room is, how luxurious their room is, what sort of welcome drinks they offered, how's the staff is very nice. But nobody is talking about what experience they created on field for you. See, there is a huge gap. See, I see a lot of team naturalists, safari pilots,
Yes.
uh, educating their guests on the safari,
Hmm.
and I see it very dedicatedly. They are not chasing tigers. They are not chasing just leopards or tigers or the big animals. They are educating people about trees. They are educating people about grass. They are educating people about the lifestyle of wild animals. But are they creating the content out of it? I feel no. So there is a huge gap which can be filled very easily by doing strategic content marketing. They need to invest efforts and money in it, but if they can invest for a long term, it will be huge beneficial for them.
I
Because it's
love
all
this.
about creating
Really.
trust.
Yes, Trikansh, I really love what you're saying, because this is exactly what I feel as well. So it's just fantastic. So thank you so very much for, highlighting these points, and which I feel really need the attention of the industry. And before we say goodbye, and I'm just totally enjoyed, kind of talking to you. Is there a last piece of advice which you would like to give it to the industry? Hmm.
Act like a business owner, but think like a creator. If
Eh,
yeah, if you can think like a creator, you will be a better director and producer. You definitely have ability and in and capabilities. So if you can sum it up, you will be a better person in content marketing for your business.
Absolutely brilliant. Thank you so very, very much. It's really delighting to have you with us. Thank you. Mm.
My pleasure. Thank you so much for having me today.
Yeah, yes.